When I was in college, a man once told me I was the kind of woman that could stop traffic. Although I'm well aware my wide hips and thick thighs were the motivation behind that line, I couldn't help but wonder if he saw me with God's eyes when I was 9. Riding my bike carelessly across the street, not stopping to see if cars were coming, I ended up coming within inches of being hit by a squad car. So close, it took my breath. The officer said that I'd scared him to death. Yes, fear does have morbid ways with badges these days. How ironic. I survived to become the target of this guy's pickup line, which does remind me of the time I saw a woman who could actually stop traffic. She rocked a neon vest. Red octagon extended from her palm. She was the first adult I'd see each morning departing my lawn. She was the Cedar Hills Elementary School crossing guard. Stop. A child is passing, she'd scream. The stream of vehicles came to a slow and gentle halt. She'd wink us on and hold them at bay until we were safely across, head back to the sidewalk. If only she were there for Trayvon on that night. Perhaps Sanford policemen wouldn't have needed 47 days of rest before going out of their way to make an arrest. Perhaps Kendrick Johnson's death would not still be a mystery. 5 years into his mother's misery, Michael Dunn felt comfortable leaving the scene of that crime, taking his time to eat, returning to his hotel room to pour himself a drink, make love to his fiancée. He walked his dog, carried on with all that he thought more important than the fact that he had just murdered Jordan. What misfortune it is to be young and Black with the audacity to talk back. It is an unnatural act, an unsettling thing for parents to be required to bury their offspring, and it is all right to mourn for their death. Those who die young are still worthy of our affection, especially the ones who've slipped outside of our protection. God may not make mistakes, but men do. Who created the minds from which the weapons would soon come? I still have my questions. I'm still wrapping my psyche around the kind of person one might be to produce a chair designed to electrocute you to flatline. I'm forced back in time to 1944 when George Stinney received the death penalty at the age of 14 for a crime he didn't commit. In 2015, due process was exempt as a one-man firing squad gave Mike Brown his sentence. In 2016, more than 1,500 minors in this state were charged as adults and maximum sentenced to a cage. All of the technological advancements made in 7 decades in human behavior is fundamentally the same. How ironic. I aim to encourage a pause for the cause. Because lack of jobs, predatory laws, privatized mass incarceration, institutionalized racist legislation has bred a nation desensitized, and Black lives more than matter. They will live to shatter your savage middle class fears. Stop for a moment. Children are passing here. And if the bullets pummel them to the ground and no news cameras are around, does their death resound, or is it business as usual in Louisville? On street corners from Compton to Chicago, young people stand who mass media negatively brands that are ready to fight, kill, and die at the drop of a dime for the person they're standing beside. If only the elders in my community were down to ride for my life like that. Will we be brave enough to bring our Harlem back? Would ensuring accuracy in history class become a communal act? Would pastors pass the collection plate to build a Black-owned bank? Would we innovate instead of consume, be led to the promised land instead of our doom? Where are our paper makers, gunsmith, judges, bakers, shippers in stores? Cooperative economics requires us to believe more can come from ghetto fruit trees than entertainment and war. Intellectual wealth has been kept from our babes. They were left without the inheritance of lucrative skills and trades, and today they may lose their best friend in these streets. Won't someone please invest more than a bulletproof vest and raise rifle to their survival? It is vital to our revival as adults. Who's gonna be bold enough to step into that road? Hold the oncoming floods at bay until our children are safe on the other side of our shortcomings. The revolution is coming full circle. An octagon in hand, I stand in that lane, ashamed of the blame we've hung on our young for what they've become too soon. Our youth are forced from our yards into the back of cop cars, and they are scarred with the gaping mystery of identity, as are we, the ones who are supposed to lead and teach and be a safety net. I could never forget the first time I met a woman who could actually stop traffic. Stop. A child is passing.